Thank you.
Our next guest is exposing the dangers of DEI hiring by collating a lawsuit against the Federal Aviation Administration for allegedly turning away qualified air traffic controllers based solely on race.
The lawsuit could set a new precedent and force companies to hire employees based on, shocking, their skills and nothing else.
Joining us now, former Nevada Attorney General and Mountain States Legal Foundation co-counsel Adam Laxalt. Adam, great to see you. Explain how this,
Thanks for having me.
How this lawsuit works, because the FAA was using a quiz, in essence, or a questionnaire that locked out, according to the lawsuit, several thousand people indirectly based on their race. But Congress got rid of this questionnaire. So explain the harm now.
Yeah, so we represent nearly 1,000 people that were about to be air traffic controllers, and this is at the end of the Obama administration. They had done all the FAA schooling, which up till that time, for 2 decades, graduated. 100% of those people went on to be air traffic controllers. They passed the normal test, and then the Obama administration said that the class was too white. And so they threw out the test and threw out all these applicants with it. And that's the group of citizens that we represent. Their careers were derailed. Their lives have been upended. So it's important that we get justice for them. But obviously, it's important that cases like this highlight that these practices were going on in the federal government, and they could still be going on in any agency in America, and especially when you're dealing with air traffic control. You know, I want to emphasize the Wall Street Journal just did a report a couple months ago that said that, you know, we're at 75% staffing for these air traffic controllers across the country. So when you travel and you have a delay, it's because there aren't enough of these people. When you see these near incidents in air traffic control, it's because there are not enough people. There are only 14,000 air traffic controllers. 1,000 were scrapped a decade ago. And the bottom line is they've never made up losing all of this pipeline. They can't make it up. And who knows the standards they're using now to try to fill that. But all Americans agree these have to be the best and brightest to keep us all safe.
Well, what gets me here is you're talking about a space, a part of the economy where people could lose their lives if a job is not done well. Healthcare is another space. Doctors. It's so regulated by the federal government. You could see the same kinds of policies, and we have in some ways, seep in there with the same kinds of risks. Obviously, your suit is precedent setting. What kind of precedent are you hoping to set with it?
We're suing under Title VII, which is back from the 1964. It is illegal to discriminate on the basis of race or gender in your hiring practices. That's the bottom line. And the good news is the Supreme Court is trending this way. We feel that this case is a case that we're going to win. But if the federal government has to cave on this, certainly the whole of federal government is going to have to follow this. But it will apply to private companies. I mean, you see all this DEI stuff with Boeing. And is that the reason why they're having all these problems? You know, I guess we'll find that out with all these investigations. But it will have a huge impact across the board so that companies and our own government can simply do what's right, what should have been in place all along, which is hire on the base of merit.
Really quickly, Adam, you said that these air traffic controllers or potential were sidelined because they were white. In the discovery that you've done so far, do you have evidence that it's that blatant? Do they say that, or what do you have quickly?
Well, I can't disclose everything, but there's no question that the class was too white. They put a new test where they created a biographical test with the stated intent of adding more African Americans to the air traffic control applicant pool. And this is a shocking thing, but they wanted to add a test, a question that if you did poorly in math, then you would actually get extra points in this biographical test. Never mind how insulting it is that the government was concluding that this is a way to pull up African Americans into the air traffic control ranks, but that's all there. They did change the test to change the applicant pool.
Adam Laxalt, thank you so much. We did reach out to the FAA for comment, and it responded in part saying this: there is a well-known national shortage of air traffic controllers, and the FAA has ramped up outreach to ensure no talent is left on the table. We're accelerating the pace of recruiting, training, and hiring to meet demand while maintaining the highest qualification standards. Adam Laxalt, thank you, sir. Great to see you.